What's up? This is Andy Francess, and if you're wondering why there's just kind of a half smirk on my face, it's because we got Thursday Night Football tomorrow, and for the first time since, I don't know what, maybe week 2, we got a matchup that's worth looking forward to. And I don't care that the Bucs are under 500 and stuff. We have two teams threatening for their divisions, 2 star quarterbacks, and we actually have a Thursday night game that we can theoretically enjoy, but who knows? You know, we're not allowed to have nice things. But the second reason why it's great that it's Thursday is we get to submit another lineup for No House Advantages Thursday Night Football Pick'em Contest. If you haven't played this before, what are you waiting for? No House Advantage gives you player props. It shows you simple player props associated with a player. Tom Brady, it will show you the passing yards, the touchdowns, and you pick over or under. The more that you stack correctly, the higher you go in the standings and the more money that you put in your pocket. You get enough right, you're up there in the thousands, and if you're at number 1, I guess you ain't gonna be watching these videos anymore because you're gonna be off doing nice things for the next couple of weeks. And that's what we're gonna try to do for you today. But like I told you many times, if you don't wanna trust me, don't worry about it. Go directly over to Stokastic where you can utilize their free projections. They have free projections for the No House Advantage Pick'em Contest, where you can check their optimal lineups and get all the little inside information on what they like. If you use the link down below in the description of this video, No House Advantage will actually do you a nice solid and match your first deposit up to $50. So if you put 50 in there, they're gonna give you 50, get a couple lineups in, and here we go, as the Joker once said. So the first thing I'm gonna do is look at the quarterbacks. It's typically how I like to navigate these lineups. And I'm looking at Tom Brady. I understand he's been a disaster lately. I understand the divorce, I understand. But I wonder how last game would have went if that deep touchdown to Mike Evans, the wide open deep touchdown to his top receiver, wasn't completely dropped. I think it might have been a different story, and I'm looking at him to rebound in this home game, one that they probably feel like they have to win. They're under 500, a couple of embarrassing losses in a row, but I do trust Brady as long as he has Evans and Godwin there. He likes to use Fournette out of the backfield as well. I like Tom Brady to throw over 1.5 touchdowns in an important game. I've seen his record and statistics when he's like a home underdog in prime time, and they're pretty damn good. So I'm willing to take Tom Brady over 1.5 touchdowns. Then, speaking of Leonard Fournette, I almost wish that they had the receptions and receiving yards for him. But for this contest, they're giving us the rushing yards, and I even like that as well. When they play teams like the Panthers, even though they lost, and the week before that, they're willing to utilize running backs other than Fournette to kind of lighten the workload on him. But when they play prime matchups that they got to have against good teams, which, you know, Baltimore, they're tied for their division lead, you're going to see a lot of Fournette in this game, and I like him getting over that rushing total. And then also the aforementioned Mike Evans. You know he's looking to make up for that drop. You know him and Brady are going to try to get on the same page. Baltimore's secondary has been extremely beatable all year long. I think that's a great spot for Mike Evans. I'm going to take the over on Mike Evans' receiving yards. You know, he's one of those guys, he's borderline, you don't really hear this about him, he's borderline matchup proof. You know, even when they put top corners on him in the league, he burns a ton of them, including Jalen Ramsey in that playoff game for a deep touchdown, if you can remember. So I wouldn't be worried about any sort of matchup. Peters, are you nuts? Anyway, looking at the other side of the ball, Lamar's a little difficult for me to kind of figure out in this game, but a guy that I love, this might be one of my favorite plays. I'm going to take the under on Gus Edwards' rushing yards. We already know he was recently activated off the PUP. He did well in the last game, but this is a guy who he's going to be in a rotation for certain. And then he's going to be going up against one of the top run defenses in the league these last couple of years. That's exactly what the Bucs have been. They've been one of the biggest shutdown defenses against the run in the entire league. So when you got a guy just coming back, PUP, I'm going to take the under on Gus Edwards' rushing yards. Then I'm also going to take the under on Mark Andrews' receptions. They have it set at 5.5. It's a pretty high number, and I know Andrews has been unbelievable this year, but ever since that game at Cincinnati, or when he was home against Cincinnati on a Sunday night a couple weeks back, Lamar's looked a little off with his throws. and he's not looking quite as sharp as he did earlier in the season. So when you couple that with the fact that now Bateman's back for 2 straight weeks, so they do have Bateman and Duvernay out there to share targets with, and you know Andrews is going to be the focal point of the defense to stop through the air. I'm going to take the under on 5.5 receptions for Mark Andrews, and those are the picks that I got for you. But like I told you, if you don't like them, that's fine. Go check out Stokastic's free projections for this contest. Definitely very helpful, especially if you're undecided on a couple. I'll be back with you tomorrow for the No House Advantage versus the House contest, where I'll be taking on the house. So it's me and you versus the house. All right, subscribe to the channel here, and I will talk to you then.